It's often been said the ANC are so bloody corrupt, we should all have a tax revolt, right? Tax revolt where we, starve the ANC of funds. And then we make the ANC pay by withholding our money. Yeah, it's not happened. It's actually not just not happened, but South Africans have paid a record 27% more tax whilst they get less service and more load shedding.
How bloody annoying. So at the end of March of 2024, SARS has collected 2.2 trillion rand in taxes, which is a new record. And for the life of me, I just can't understand why. South Africa has no service for those taxes. There is no police saving you from rapists. There is no potholes being filled. There is no electricity, let alone it being on or not. There's like nothing to show for all this tax money being collected by the state, yet we somehow just keep paying it over and over and over again. I was really expecting a tax revolt of sorts by now, but unfortunately not. Rita Tanistan just keeps paying because, I don't know.
Well, you may say that, but, SARS obviously has a statement on this. So to equate it, SARS collected 294 billion in tax. And they claim that part of the reasons that they've got more money is that they've gone out and made more people do voluntary disclosures. For those of you who don't understand, voluntary disclosures are basically people with complicated tax records. So usually people that may have foreign companies or, it's people that are basically got income from abroad, those kind of guys. I mean, there are only 1,400 of them, but apparently they accounted for 3.5 billion rand. They also went through and they penalized 28,000 people who declared a little bit too little on their provisional tax. So your provisional tax record is basically where you say how much tax you think you're going to pay. SARS kind of holds you to it, and then you can basically go out there and, pay what you're supposed to. So these are people that have got to the end of their tax year and gone, maybe I shouldn't laugh. Maybe I should just declare the rest of my money. But more interestingly, they say that they collected 20 billion from crime syndicates. So basically people with illegal tobacco and gold schemes. And a further 6.6 billion from custom sieges. So, people coming into the country with Starlink and that kind of thing. And apparently these are the big areas where they were able to get more money. Interestingly, Ramon, they also say that they've used AR, some machine learning, some algorithms to unearth forms of non-compliance. And, non-compliance being criminality. But in total, it's these things that have basically helped them get more cash.
Yeah, and the irony is that Edward Kieswetter is on the record as saying he only collects 20% of taxes. Right? There's like corporate tax and customs taxes and things like that. The rest is automatic. A large proportion of the tax paid is automatic through pay as you earn, i.e. income tax, through the fuel levy, through VAT. All that stuff is automatic. So Kieswetter, the commissioner of SARS, the head of SARS, admits a tax revolt is actually super easy to do because he only controls 20% of the income of SARS. So the irony is the tax revolt can happen at any time. We just have to do it. But, people just don't want to do it. And I just don't know why, right? This is the only country in the world, as far as I'm aware, where we literally pay the mafia to take away our rights, to take away our electricity, to take away our roads, to take away social services, to take away all the stuff that makes us a country, our borders. All this money is being forcibly taken from us, some of it voluntarily from us, and we get nothing in return, but somehow we keep paying more and more and more. When does the straw break the camel's back?
Never, basically. Interestingly, though, Ramon, let's actually talk about some additional stats, and that is, these surprised me. Apparently, SARS registered and new taxpayers, 1.1 million new taxpayers. That surprised me. So it does actually show that there is some actual economic growth. And apparently there were 40,000 new employers. So that's 40,000 new tender companies. I mean, legitimate businesses that were registered to pay PAYE. And a total of 650,000 brand new taxpayers that are now in the taxpayer bracket, but were below them before. which I suppose shows some kind of economic growth. And you see, Ramon, all of this is really important because if you remind yourself, Godongwana was actually short on the budget. He actually said that he had a tax issue, and that was a tax issue. Lots of people speculated on how he would fix or how he'd plug the hole. According to these numbers, he doesn't have to anymore. It's already been fixed.
And let's not forget, all the social grants were increased miraculously 2 months before the national election. Out of the blue, by the way, an extra 2.2 billion rand to spend on social grants because the ANC loves poor people. That's why it has created so many of them. And now we can see why he did that because, well, it has been paid for. Why are you people watching this video paying more tax than you should? It's ridiculous. Like, I understand it's a ransom to the mafia. I completely understand that. But, I mean, really, if you want real change, just stop the cadres from chowing, take away the money. And it's within the power of the populace to actually do that in this country.
Yeah, very difficult there, Ramon. Whilst I understand why you say what you say and I understand the logic of it, as do I think our audience, very difficult because you take away those the money, and unfortunately, it has let's say, a knock-on effect on the social well-being of many of the poor. Unfortunately, when you take that away, you basically land up with Durban 2021. So it's not always
Bullshit.
a great idea.
Nonsense. The poor don't matter. The poor don't matter. The poor don't revolt. The poor don't create revolutions. The poor don't matter in this equation. It's the middle class that matters. The ones that are paying the taxes, they matter far more. Every revolution in history was initiated by the middle class or the peasant/mercantile class. The great masses is communist propaganda. The masses never initiated any change whatsoever. Don't believe commie propaganda, Byron. Come now.
Yeah, you may say that, but you see in other countries, the middle class actually have a bigger say. In South Africa, they don't. The middle class is actually really, really small. Like, really small. As you know, 11% of all people in the country pay pretty much all the tax. So it's I'm not sure that dynamic actually holds true for South Africa. But with that being said, either way you look at it, ladies and gentlemen, SARS have collected more money. There is no tax boycott. And according to this, people are not actually stopping paying for services. They're actually paying for more, which is really weird because need we remind you, you have no electricity.